Hello, welcome back. This is Kench1913, and we are Let's Playing King's Quest. In the last episode, we did some puzzles with Alexander. I redid the block puzzle, so you don't have to see me do it again, and now we're going to continue on. And, yeah, Alexander.
Another conundrum solved. Just imagine what you could accomplish if you actually knew each other longer than, how long has it been? 18 years, give or take a few key moments. Oh, wait. That's how long you've been apart.
Jeez, rub it in.
Apologies. Sometimes I mix up numbers and dates.
This Sphinx is a real piece of S. POS, as I like to call it. Real piece of crap. Look at this puzzle, huh? Oh shit, what the hell? There's like something out of an icy version of Labyrinth.
This looks really hard. Please don't.
I can't help it!
Oh, come on, Dad. This is really embarrassing. Oh no.
How many switches are in this trap? Is this the final gauntlet? Have we reached the end? Will we make it out alive? Will we use our bows? Does this labyrinth give out prizes? Oh, what if the prizes are custom jackets? Can ours say the dueling archers, please? When can we schedule a pun war? How about every day that ends in Y? Isn't this so much fun? Aren't you excited you're back? 'Cause I am! What size crown do you wear? When do you want to begin addendum training? Tell me, are you more the brave, the wise, or the compassionate? You can choose how to solve this conundrum as long as we do it together! Yes!
Who would have thought Graham would be so energetic still?
Don, why would you do that? It looked like so much fun.
What a giant
I'm
fireball.
not like you. I can't handle any more puzzles.
That magic is dangerous. See? This is what I warned you about, that snapping, that horrendous snapping. It's what took you away from us, and I forbid you to use it.
Forbid me? This magic is part of who I am. I just wish you could see that.
Yeah.
Look, we're not some happy family just because I'm back. I wasn't there on your adventures. I don't know what the tapestries that line the walls mean, and I don't know why you insist on wearing that ridiculous hat.
Ooh.
Well, if you didn't want a family, then why did you come back?
I was looking for a father, not a commander. I'm not one of your subjects to be ruled over. If I wanted to be a slave, I would have stayed with Manannan.
Please don't ever compare me to that man. He robbed you of your childhood.
Well, like it or not, Dad, I'm already grown up. And you're robbing me of my adulthood.
You shouldn't talk to your father that way, Alexander.
Look, I don't even know that name. Let's just split up and search for the girls. You have your way of doing things, and I have mine. I'm just slowing you down.
Poor Graham.
Fine, leave again. You know what? You are slowing me down.
No, Graham. You know you don't really mean that. You're just saying that out of anger. Although that is a pretty heartbreaking scene. Poor Graham. He was just so excited about everything that was going on, and then Alexander being an angsty teen, you know. Oh, this is a pretty powerful scene, too.
Should we save a plate for Dad? I brought him food earlier. He refused to eat. He's too preoccupied with this next big adventure he's cooking up in his head.
You know, that's just like Dad. Once adventure is on his mind, he can't focus on anything else.
He's never lost his drive. You have to give him that.
Well, I've never regretted retiring my questing boots.
I can't believe he did.
It allowed me to devote my full attention to raising my daughter.
Isn't that right, my little cuddle bug?
Dad, stop. You're embarrassing me.
Oh, come now, Alexander. We were raised going on adventures, and we turned out just fine. Well, you know what I mean. Oh, look at Gart. He's been questing since he could crawl, and shaping up to be quite the handsome prince, if I do say so myself.
Well, thanks for saying so, Mother.
Oh, I do hope you decide to take Gwendolyn on her own adventure soon. She's got it in her blood.
Yeah, you
You
should.
can't keep her safe forever.
She can go out questing for danger when she's older. We like to do things a little differently in the Green Isles.
You can say that again. Not enough addendums and far too few decrees. Pardon the interruption, milady.
But yeah, so Alexander and Cosima rule the Green Isles.
I see. Thank you.
But I'm not sure why
Guard,
Rosella's
the
back.
chambermaid found this crumpled up in your waste bin. I am assuming it fell.
Yes. Thank the shining stars they found it. I was looking all over for that. It must have blown right off my desk. Give it here. I'll deliver it right after supper.
No need. I'll deliver it myself in the morning.
Guard, I told you to keep the windows closed in your room. It's so breezy in there.
Can you please pass the peas?
Guard, did you not hear Gwendolyn?
Oh, apologies. I thought that was a nint mouse squeaking in the courtyard.
Why is Gart being such a
What did you
jerk?
say?
I asked you to please pass
Gart? Please pass the peas to your cousin.
The little highness can reach them herself. I'm not here to serve her.
You would be honored to serve.
Children, that's enough. There you go, dear.
A little
Or
squabble.
was that so hard? Now, can we just finish up dinner in peace? Grandpa would like to speak with everyone after dinner.
Ugh. I hate the smell of that lavender. When I'm king, we will never serve those abominations again.
Oh, do tell us, Gart. What qualities do you possess that would make for a good king?
Well, for one, I've been raised in this castle and trained to properly take over the kingdom. Unlike some other children who
wonder
have
why
only
that's
had
like
adventures
that.
in their imaginations.
Boys, I don't like where this conversation is going. Daventry is our home, Alexander. You chose to run away with the princess and rule over her kingdom. Who else besides Gart would make a good king?
I don't know. I hear Kyle has some big ideas.
Kyle? Really? Uncle, you're acting like a buffoon.
Well, if this is how children raised by royalty treat their elders, then I'm proud that Gwendolyn and I grew up outside these castle walls.
What? So now your family is too good for Daventry? It would be an honor for me to be king. But for you, it's just a burden?
Knock it off, Gart!
No! You're just a little girl. Nothing more than a dreamer. If you didn't encourage Grandfather's ramblings, he might actually notice that I am the only man for the job. Sit down. You're embarrassing the family.
That's Gart.
You will never be half the king Grandpa is. And he would never, ever leave the kingdom to such a spoiled, thoughtless child. I may be a little girl, but you're the one that needs to grow up.
Distress.
Jeez, man, oh man.
I think it would be best to cool off in your rooms. Everybody. No one is allowed to see Grandpa until you can all get along.
Yeah, I don't know why Rosella just wasn't like, hey, Gart, calm the F down.
Grandpa?
Stop being a jerk.
Can I come in?
Gwendolyn, you've disobeyed your grandma by sneaking in here. I was told everyone was sentenced to their chambers. Do you know what that means?
That I should go back to my room, take this time to reflect in my journal.
No. It means you should pull up a chair, and I can finish this story without any more interruptions.
I think I crossed the line tonight.
Oh, I'm sure you did. Good thing this story is all about crossing lines.
Yeah. Alright, so now we're here without Alexander's help, and we need to do something with this thing.
Do you think the beard is too much? My wife says it itches her, but I think it's dignified.
Well, maybe you should shave it for now. Then grow it later. But yeah, so, yeah, that whole conversation, I mean, Alexander...
Oh, don't pay those statues any mind. They're just all previous adventurers who are not nearly as clever as you.
Yeah, I honestly think Alexander just like...
Who sculpted those guards?
I couldn't shake the feeling that they seemed like first drafts. Failed attempts at some larger art project.
Oh, it's waving. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, Alexander might be a little too protective over Gwendolyn. I mean, she's pretty much ripe to learn how to go on quests.
Don't worry, Mr. Majesty. He'll learn his lesson. Such a shame how parents treat their kids these days.
Whoa, 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 whoa. How parents treat their kids. He was being all jerky to me, yeah, you know. I was just trying to be nice to him, you know. I want him to learn. Although, honestly, you know, the thing about it is like Alexander said, you know, he's his own guy.
This puzzle was light on teenage angst. I appreciated that.
And I don't know, you just gotta make a path so that you can walk with 3 blocks moving out of the way. But, yeah, I don't know. You know, to forbid magic is probably not a good thing. I mean, hell, like I said in the last episode, Graham eventually does use magic to save his family later on. You know, with Crispin's wand and all that. And here we get ahead. But, yeah, I don't know. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, that whole argument, like, you think Gart, like, I know at this point you guys, or gals, or whoever's watching, might think Gart is a real piece of S, but, honestly, you know, he is being trained to be the new king.
You'll find this puzzle is easier without all that extra weight, Mr. Majesty.
And you'll figure out why anyways. So, how this puzzle works, pretty much, is you have to get... This thing is going to shine light down here, and what you need to do is get that thing to shine the right light and move the path at the same spot. I'll show you what I mean. But yeah, you know, so Alexander, obviously with Queen Cosima, or Princess Cosima, they ended up taking over the land of the Green Isles, and I guess Rosella and her husband Edward, I think his name was, they end up taking over Daventry. Although I guess Edward, he was a prince or something of some other place. I forget what place, but Tanalor, I think it was, maybe. I don't remember. Whatever King's Quest IV took place, or you know, because I don't know if they even count King's Quest VII as canon for this game. They might. So yeah, we need the pieces to shine on this thing here, on the wall, and then you put the pieces in, and it'll make sense. But, yeah, so, you know, Gart, the thing I think what's happening with Gart, honestly, I think he's a little jealous. Maybe not of all the time that Gwendolyn is spending with, Graham, but probably because maybe he's thinking, oh, Graham, that's his, you know, Gwendolyn is his favorite, and oh, maybe he's afraid that, like, he won't be king, like, he'll make her queen or whatever. Which I can't honestly imagine happening. You know, he's probably gonna make Gart the king without knowing what's gonna happen later, and maybe Gwendolyn will eventually go on her own adventure. I mean, eventually you gotta let the little baby bird fly out of the nest. Okay, there we go. So yeah, you want to make this thing here. But yeah, so, you know, the dynamics of the family there. And yeah, you'll think Gart, like from that count, see how it's making that, so now we have to use this here. But yeah, you think Gart is probably being a jerk, and we don't. Like I said, I think honestly, Gart, the reason why he's being a jerk is because he's probably thinking, you know, he's in line to become king because, you know, Edward's not going to become king, his dad's not going to become king, and Rosella won't be queen. Although I don't see why she couldn't be queen, so they're making Gart the new king. And I'm sure Gart does love his grandpa. And he was kind of being a dick, but, you know, there's only so much you can, you know. Rosella should be, like, screaming at.
I hate to say it, but this is so much easier alone.
Is it? Because it's going to get a lot harder, let me tell you. So what we need to do, in order to go that way, is put the badger body, and then put the badger head. For some reason, there's a badger here. The only reason why I think that is because it's a reference to earlier when he...
I wish I could just snap and bring you to the end of the labyrinth, but alas, I lack opposable thumbs. I'm afraid you'll just have to solve this on your own. I don't mean to salt a wound, but are you even sure that he's your son? It's not like you're cut from the same cloth. How do you know this Alexander is not an imposter?
That's a good question, but I think he is. I mean, I don't think he would.
I almost wished I had Alexander's fire to solve this one, but I would get through it without any dark magic.
See, now that's where Graham is getting it all wrong. He's calling it dark magic. And like Alexander said, it all depends on the person that is using said magic. Honestly, let's see. But yeah, this puzzle is kind of tricky. Well, Alexander, it's actually pretty hard without him. But yeah. So like, you know, this is one of those puzzles where I was like, why are they being so redundant? I mean, I understand in a way why they're doing it due to the fact that they're like, okay, see how harder it is without your son here? But the thing about it is like, it's like there's so many of these puzzles, and it's like, I'm not really puzzled out, but I'm like, come on now, what the hell? What's with all the damn puzzles? I mean, it is a story about working together as a team and accepting people for who they are and their abilities. And you know, poor Graham, he didn't know that his, you know, his son would be well versed in magic. I mean, he kind of had a point there, right, where he was saying to Alexander, he's like, hey, that's that snap, that sound is the sound that took you away. You know, I don't really like magic. You know, he could have said that to Alexander and been like, yo, I don't like it. But he could have said, please don't do it anymore. Instead, he's like, I forbid you to do it, you know? And then that's when it's like, nope, no dice. Alright, we almost got it here. The trick is getting that little piece down, because now you have a lot of room to work with. Yeah, at this point I was like, oh, did I screw up? But no, you just gotta keep moving the top two pieces. Actually, the way that this goes, the format is not this. It doesn't have to be the same. And the essence of the blocks don't have to be in the same spot. But yeah, let's move this over here. I'm probably taking too many steps, but I'm gonna get it done, don't you worry. I do, although I will admit, I do like the family dynamic in the essence of, like, you know, when Alexander came back from being captured by Manannan, not everything was all hunky-dory. I do like that. You know? Because I'm sure there is some sort of adjustment period that they would have. You know, one of the things that was kind of interesting about, I think there was a King's Quest III remake, not the one that I LP'd, but there was another one that had a good, when it ended, the third one when it ended, it had a great, like, him exploring the kingdom with his dad and trying to get to know everything. And it was kind of interesting on how that one went.
No magic needed to solve this.
Because he used, you know, instead of right after the third game, he would just throw his hat and then get a heart condition.
But how did you resolve your fight? I need some tips to get Gart to be nicer to me.
Are you sure something else isn't bothering him? Have you tried asking him?
Yeah.
Or are you assuming it has to do with you?
Well, he's cordial to everyone else.
I might dig a little deeper into that.
Yeah, what is the deal? Yeah, so there is a reason why Gart is ticked off, which we will eventually find out. Anyways, we pretty much have to slide on this thing and then get over to that, you know, pretty much have to bounce around and get over to the door by bouncing onto these guard things. So this puzzle is pretty tricky. It's actually 3 floors of things. So what we need to do is actually, as you can see, the rocks in the upper right, upper left corner. We have to head over there and go down, because we honestly can't do anything at this part. We just have to go down. And now this part here, you pretty much have to get the pathway to go the correct way. And what you have to do is, from here you have to go 1, 2, 3. So you have to go to the third one, and you have to make it go towards the door. So you have to kind of remember what it's like upstairs, in a way. This part doesn't really matter. This part doesn't matter, but this part does matter. Yeah, see, now I'm thinking, oh, I gotta make it all go together, but it doesn't have to. So what you have to do is the third path, you have to make it go up and then around and then up and around. But before we even do this, let's head downstairs even further down.
Okay, this one might be a little easier with 2 people.
Yeah, this would be a lot easier with 2 people. Yeah, and you don't want to, what was I going to say? Yeah, right now Graham has just got a, like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like an abhorrence or like a hatred of magic. Let's see, we move that way. No, we don't move it this way, we just... But yeah, this is probably the second trickiest puzzle in the game, or at least in this chapter. And it's a chapter full of puzzles. Lots of them. So let's move this one like that. And then I think I gotta move the other 3, or the other 2 on the right hand side. Let's see. Let's move it. There we go. We gotta do that one like that. And this one like that. And do we have to do anything with the bottom? I think we do. Okay, so let's head up. But yeah, there's something underlying in Gart's reasoning why...
Okay, so some help on this would have been nice. Might have saved my back a bit.
But yeah, you know, there must be some underlying reason why Gart is a jerk, or at least acting like a jerk in this chapter. Because usually, like I said, he's a very nice kid. Or maybe he's not. I don't friggin' know. So what we have to do is... What you want to do is start from the back. So you know that the door is in the upper left corner. Alright. We want to make all these... Let's see. There we go. So you start with that. That's up in the upper left corner. So just walk around until this one is connected like that. Then we have to connect it like this. And see, there we go. See how it's connected to where we're going to be able to bounce off? And we have to just go on to the second one. And there we're almost done. There we go. We got it. So this puzzle should be done. This is a tricky puzzle for sure, but I think we have it. The music here is at least soothing, right? Alright, so before we see if we did this puzzle correctly, I'm actually going to end the episode here, and in the next episode we will hopefully reunite with Alexander. I've been Kenshin1913. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.